What's going on? We'd like to welcome everybody to the top of the hour. I'm your host, Nasty Noop, and tonight I have Terra Dome, fellow craft, and SJ with me tonight as we start to break down these playoffs. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
All right, so we had an interesting season, man. We just finished up the 2019 regular season. What was your thoughts on the regular season? What did you guys think?
Man has a way of sometimes defining your season, man. We got some work we gotta get done out there in Oakland, cause man rapers this year, man rapers. I'm sorry though, we be back strong next year, but there was a lot of great competition shown this year, man. A lot of guys, new users stepped up, came in from the rip, demanding respect, playing strong, pushing towards the playoffs. So the competition level, is like right now is through the roof, man. Like a lot of guys is like stepping their gameplay up a lot. That's what I noticed this year.
For me, I would say the competition as well. Again, we brought in a couple new users. They've actually been, pretty surprisingly decent. As you see, the Chargers are in the wild card round for the 2019 playoff season. And then some of the usuals. You look at the Bucks and the Steelers are there. The Broncos are coming back to defend another title. It should be a very interesting year. The surprise for me was actually the Panthers, the way they kind of opened up, undefeated all the way throughout, the first three quarters of the season. Although they've taken a loss or two, they're still definitely one of those top teams to beat. So those are my thoughts for the season so far.
Yeah, the Panthers was a big surprise. I think he had a losing record last season, so to come back 12-4, shows he was in the in the lab, working on his game.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess going into the playoffs, we just had a big surprise as far as that everyone kind of assumed that the Bills would be going into the playoffs. I wish EA would provide us with like the tiebreaker scenario, exactly how that is determined. But I kind of feel bad for him because he worked hard this season. But it's that one extra game that you got to win in order to secure your position. So it is what it is.
Done it.
Yeah. So I guess, man, as we move forward, I guess we can provide everybody with a chart of who made the playoffs and the current positions, and it's up right now. I guess we can start with the wild card round for the AFC. We have the number 3 Jaguars facing the number 6 Chargers in this first matchup. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this matchup here?
For me, I really, really like this matchup. Again, we got one of the freshman users coming in with the Chargers against the number 3 seed Jags. The Jags kind of surprised me with the way they kind of played the game against the Bucks on their last game against him. And right now I feel that the Jags kind of got a little bit of momentum coming into this game. Again, coming off that game against the Bucks, who is, definitely a perennial power in our league. I think he played them tough. And I think he's kind of laid a foundation and a blueprint for everybody else to kind of take their game, at least on the defensive side, to playing high-powered guys like the Bucks. The Jags kind of really held him in check that whole first half. So to me, I'm looking forward to the Jags just kind of keeping the thing going and seeing that this freshman Chargers guy can really kind of take his stake in the claim. I know this is his first year, but to come in like this and, make the playoffs, at least the wild card round, and go against a guy with the Jags, this is going to be a big test for him. So I'm pulling for the Jags, but I'm definitely interested in seeing a great game.
Yeah, man. The Jags, had a little rough patch in the beginning of the season, but surprisingly, this is the team that's been around in the offense as far as, hanging around the top 5 of, total yards offense. They currently finished, the season ranked number 1 in total offensive yards, ranked 2nd in total passing yards, and ranked 3rd in, rushing yards. So with that being said, they come into the playoffs, high momentum, balanced style offense, which is tough for some defenders to adjust to because they can pass the ball, they can run the ball. Speaking of the Chargers, he came and, pushed for the playoffs, which is always a good sign in the dynasty because, he paving his way. But there's a few things that stood out to me with that Chargers team. They got to learn how to convert on third down. They currently finished at 76 for 177. You got to convert on third down. You want to do that in the playoffs. Keep that defense on the field so you can tire them out. They got to cut back on the penalties. They had 39 penalties for 367 yards, which, can either make a game or break a game. In the playoffs, you want to be disciplined. So if he can, fix those two things, I see it's going to be a good matchup. But I'm pulling for the Jags in this matchup. The offense is just clicking right now, and they're too balanced. But hopefully the Chargers, can prove me wrong.
Yeah, for the Jags to start 0-2 and then come back, finish strong at 11-5, I believe. I think that was a good way to finish the season. Finish the season versus the Colts, 51-zip. So he has momentum. He knows what he wants to do on offense, and I think he's ready to make a run. The first two losses were to the Broncos and Browns, so he might get a chance for revenge too.
Yeah, that should be a very interesting matchup. I'm kind of looking forward to see what the Chargers does. He came in, he talked a big game coming into the league. Really hadn't paid his dues, but I guess at this point, by making the wild card round, he pays some dues at this point. But we got to see if he can get past the Jags, who has been a good user in the dynasty for since Madden 16. So it'll be a tough matchup for him in an interesting game, in my opinion. All right, fellas. I guess we can move on to the second matchup in the AFC wildcard round. We have the Jets versus the Browns, which is a matchup we did not expect. We kind of thought it would be the Bills, but this should be interesting. What are you guys' thoughts?
Man, one thing about the Browns, I can say that they know how to do well out there in Cleveland is run the rock. Deron Fletcher has been a force of record since he came in the league. He finished this year rushing for a total of 1,366 yards for 16 touchdowns. In the playoffs, you want to have a balanced attack. And with Fletcher in the backfield, that's giving them, a little better advantage. And another thing to speak on this year is a rookie quarterback. He coming off of a promising season, throwing for a total of 4,051 yards and a total of 35 touchdowns, completing 62% of his passing. That's like amazing for a rookie quarterback to come in and do it, especially a Cleveland quarterback. But the Browns user, he's been proving himself since Madden 16. Like guys, is a well user. He can continue just to show us more and more every year. Now the Jets is a user that, in my opinion, has been flying under the radar. But I was able to look up a few things on him also. Surprisingly, his secondary finished ranked top 5 in the NFL. If the secondary continue to make plays, and slow down that Browns running game, I think that, it'll be a tough day for Cleveland. But in this game, I'm going to have to push for it. I'm going to have to go with the Browns. Quarterback is playing good. The run game is strong. So, like I said, it's a two-headed horse. For some users can't adjust to that. But I'm going to go with the Browns.
All right. Yeah, for me, I think for me the safe pick in this game is the Browns. They're putting up a ton of touchdowns in the air, 38 passing touchdowns versus 18 on the ground. So you're definitely going to have to try to play some good pass defense against them. I do think the Jets can do it. They're a team, for me, that's a little bit more balanced. 16 touchdowns in the air, 12 touchdowns rushing. So if the Jets can actually slow down the passing of the Browns, I think it gives them the greater chance in winning this game. But if the Browns kind of jump out early, anything more than a 10-point lead, I think it's going to be harder for the Jets to come back. So I'm glad the Jets are in it again. They run definitely a balanced offense, but I think the Browns, if they jump out to a start, it's going to be a long day for the Jets. But if the Jets can play keep away and continue to convert on third downs and move the ball and play solid defense like he's been doing, I think he has a great opportunity to move on to the next round.
Yeah, I think both teams have a stout run game. I have some breaking news to report, though, because Corey Coleman will not be playing. He's out 6 weeks, injured on the Week 17 game. So
wow,
the Jets chance without Coleman to chase around. Also, the Browns' strong safety Whitehead is out, and outside linebacker Bacon is out. Those injuries were already accounted for, but Coleman will be missed, I'm sure.
Yes, I totally agree. I guess my thoughts on this game is I'm probably gonna roll with the Browns on this one. Just me playing him, I believe this season. I believe he's a balanced user, and if he gets up on the Jets, I don't believe the Jets will be able to make up that ground on him. Just only scoring 18 points per game on average, which he ended up being 21st in the league. So if he falls behind, it's going to be a long day for him. So on this matchup, I'm going to go with the Browns.
Yeah, the Jets don't have the firepower to catch up, so they have to kind of keep it close and grind it out if they want to have a chance to win.
All right, fellas. I guess it's time to move over to the NFC. And I guess we'll take this first matchup, the Seahawks versus the Carolina Panthers. This one should be close and near and dear to fellow Kraft's heart since he will be playing in this matchup against the Panthers. So what's your thoughts on this game?
Shit, man. For me, this is huge. The Panthers and I mean, we play together often. We talk often about Madden, especially this league that we're both in. So this is going to be a tremendously rough game for me. I know offensively, the Panthers are big time. They're throwing the ball deep. They wrinkle in a little bit of read option. They play. They do zone read. They run the ball very well. So it's going to be a tough matchup for me. But defensively, I think my team is coming in hungry. We've got like 37 sacks this year, 26 interceptions. So, I mean, we're looking forward to the challenge. I know we got a big one on our hands, but I'll be ready. I'm sure he'll be ready. I know he's game planning and doing all kind of film watching and stuff. So it'll be a good matchup. One I'm looking forward to.
All right.
Yeah, man. The Panthers, man, just turned the ship completely around. Man, last time they had like a losing record, but they completely turned the ship around. They came in this season blazing from the beginning, finished strong, ranked top 10 in all categories on defense. I mean, so if they just keep up that high level of defense, I'm pretty sure it'd be a tough day for the Seahawks because the Seahawks currently gave up 36 sacks. You know, everybody knows Russell Wilson is the guy out there in Seattle, but you got to protect him. I think a key thing the Seahawks will have to do in this game is get the run game going, take some of that pressure off of Wilson. But we all know that this is going to be a battle. But I'm going to have to go with the blazing defense of the Panthers winning this game, even though I know it's going to be, you know, a battle to the end. But I'm going to have to go with the Panthers because the defense is just blazing right now.
Yeah, I played both teams late in the season, and normally, if this game was in Carolina, I would say the Panthers would have the upper hand. But by it being in Seattle, I think the 12s will balance it out. The key matchup is going to be those two 6'5", 6'6" wide receivers, McDonald and Kelvin Benjamin versus the secondary of Seattle. If Seattle can kind of make some plays, knock some balls loose, pick a pass or two off, I think they'll have a chance to win. But that offense and defense is pretty in tune. And Cam runs that offense pretty good. So we'll see. But because it's in Seattle, I'm gonna take my division partner, and I think he'll pull it out at home.
All right. I guess here, I play against the Panthers twice a season, so I'm kind of familiar with him. So I'm probably going to have to go with the Seahawks on this one since he has home field advantage. I figure if the Seahawks can take away that double crossing wide receiver and take away the middle of the field, should not be a problem. but you're gonna have to be able to stop the run. If you can make him, focus just on the pass, it should be an easy win for the Seahawks. So right here, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks in this win. All right, fellas, I guess we'll move on to the last matchup for the wild card round week, and we have the Eagles versus the Lions. What do you guys think here?
No, you talk about the Lions, you got to talk about that middle linebacker, man. Like, when have you ever seen any middle linebacker lead the NFL in interceptions? This guy finished with 17 interceptions. Like, how is that even possible? I mean, like, it's ridiculous. But, the Lions also another great defensive team. They can stop the run. They can stop the pass. So they, like I said, to me, always lived off of defense wins championships. And they can continue to keep their defense going. And that linebacker can continue to control the middle of the field. It'd be a tough day for the Eagles. I mean, but Philadelphia, they're not that bad also. They're currently finished ranked number 1 in the NFL in rushing. So like I said, they can get the run game going, get Winston to rhythm, and stay away from the middle of that field. I think I'm going with the upset pick here. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles can pull it out over the Detroit Lions.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I beg to differ. I mean, I love the Eagles. I love what they're doing right now. Like you mentioned, top 5, top team in rushing. Very, very balanced on offense. 22 points or 22 passing touchdowns with 18 rushing touchdowns. Highly balanced team. Very good on defense. But the Lions come in, to me, and they're just a little bit better. They're that much better. 33 passing touchdowns in the air versus 19 rushing. On defense, they come in number 3 with 45 sacks and 44 interceptions. I mean, this guy is doing it big time on defense. Like you said, his middle linebacker leading the league in interceptions. If you want to know how to mirror and, kind of guard the middle of the field and be the field general, this guy does it no better than any other. So my pick, hands down, is going to be the Lions. No disrespect to the Eagles. I think he can definitely make it a great game. But if it came down to the end, I think the Lions are going to just score that many more points.
Yeah, middle linebacker is bigger, faster than Shazier. Covers the field like you said, like no other. The Eagles, does have a nice run game. The passing game isn't really his number one option. He likes to run it first, pass if he has to. So I think maybe if he listens to Chris and not attack that middle of the defense and hit the edges and test maybe Sherman, who slowed down a little bit, maybe he has a chance. But I definitely think the Lions will pull this one out.
Yeah, okay. I guess my thoughts on this game is that the Donut Man came into the league proclaiming that he would win the Super Bowl this season. So at this point, we're holding him to that. But in all actuality, I believe he'll be one and done this week. And I believe that the Lions is just too much for him, and it's going to end the season today. And his hopes and dreams of winning the Super Bowl here will be gone this season.
Yes, they will.
Don't let me down, Eagles. Don't let me down.
So I guess at this point, fellas, the wild card round is set. So let's make predictions for the Super Bowl winner as we move on. Who do you feel is going to win it all this season?
Man, if you know man, and if you know the users in this league, man, you gotta go with the champ, man. Like it's crazy to say, man, but the guy, he just know how to figure out. He like the man 16 mittens, man. He just know how to figure out how to win. So if he could figure out, how to continue to just play good football, I gotta go with him, man. I go with the Denver Broncos taking it.
I think I'm going to agree with that. But if we have just a quick second, guys, I just want to say, okay, the Steelers are going to be waiting for the winner of the Jags and the Chargers. That's going to be an amazing game. The Steelers had a great season. I know they're always kind of talking about, the injuries that they kind of go through. But, this guy is always ready to play. Always has a great running game, passing game's on point, comes through with the defense. Sticking on the AFC side, the Broncos, they get the winner of the Jets and the Bears. That's going to be an amazing game there itself. Again, I mean, I see the Broncos taking that game versus whoever that they play. Then we have the Buccaneers waiting on the winner of Seattle and the Panthers. And, I mean, I played that guy. The Panthers play this guy at least twice a year. Again, I mean, this guy's putting up points. His defense is unstoppable. And the Bears, you know, I mean, they had an amazing season. And, you know, they'll be at home waiting on the winner of the Eagles and the Lions. So, I mean, it's just to even get to the Super Bowl, it's still a rough patch. We got 4 other good users just kind of waiting in the wings to play some more good football. But for me, when it's all said and done, I think it'll be a Denver Broncos, possibly versus, hopefully versus a Seattle, but possibly versus a Buccaneers Super Bowl with maybe Denver going on to win it. That's my prediction.
All right. What you got, SJ?
I definitely see a Denver-Tampa Bay rematch. The only team I think that can take out the Broncos is the Steelers. So, but I definitely see the Buccaneers getting back there. Especially this could be his last season, so I'm sure he wants to go out on top. But it should be a rematch. But the Steelers can take the Broncos out.
All right. So I guess my opinion here, if the Broncos come out of the AFC West, out of the AFC Championship, I'm calling the Bears as winning the NFC. And this season, the NFC North has been the kryptonite of the Broncos. So I'm predicting that if the Bears get there, that the Bears might pull it out and win the championship this year. So that's my prediction, that the Bears win it all.
Nice. Very nice.
So
very nice.
Hold it down, Broncos, man. Come on, represent the division, man. Don't let me down, man. Don't let me down.
So it should be an interesting season, a playoff. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope everybody tuned in and enjoyed the show. We're going to walk through this for the next 2 or 3 days. Each day we're going to do a show and we're going to talk about the matchups and until we get to the Super Bowl. And we hope you guys tune in and be a part of it. You have any closing words, fellas?
Yeah, man. Congratulations to all the guys who made the playoffs. You know, keep pushing. Wish everybody the best of luck, and man, keep with that great level of competition, man. Definitely. That's to all the users.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to ditto that. Congrats to everybody that made it, and go Hawks.
All right, fellas. It's been real. Peace.
Peace.
The Dynasty Madden League Network, the worldwide leader in CFM.